but he's still fighting heart of a champion, and I love seeing his development as it's been going on throughout the days.
Now, are there any other specific storylines? Do we have underdogs, dark horses, or people that you may have a little bit of that storyline bias for?
Oh, absolutely. You know, these players, they've been playing for some of them for decades. You know, we have the legend like Nee. He's one of the players that's been playing since the very first Tekken game. We have a literal 13-year rematch in the making with AK from the Philippines going up against Nobi from Japan. They first met when AK was 13 years old, and he's here having a rematch with them 13 years again later. So it's amazing to see, again, how these players have grown with the game, but how they're still playing and still very passionate about it for their local scenes as well.
Now, I think it's so interesting that you bring up, you know, how long some of these players have been playing, because I know last week we had like a Street Fighter player, or a Street Fighter 6, Crimey, 15 years old, and he's already winning world championships. It's just incredible the level of talent that we're seeing. But of course, we do have some other games that we've got to talk about, Trav. Starting with Stage 3, we do have some Honor of Kings over on the Lenovo Legion Gauntlet stage, and we do have a bracket that we can basically throw up just to see how things are shaken up. But what have you seen so far?
Yeah, so for me, I've been hearing huge things about AGL, and I think across the board in the Club Championship, they're looking great. They're in numerous games, and I've even heard that there's bounties being placed by them to get maps off them, so that's how confident they are. But I do want to focus down here on Team Vitality as well, because they were coming into this one really needing a win after a pretty stressful few weeks, to be honest with you. They've not been doing too well, and they were looking like one of the better teams in this game, but they just haven't really been able to get going, and as you just saw in the bracket, they got knocked out in the quarterfinals, so a super disappointing performance.
Yeah, definitely a rough one for some of the teams, especially when it comes to some of these club championship points, right? Because at the end of the day, listen, we're literally on the boulevard of broken keys right now. We've got the big trophy behind us. That's where all of the players, the winning players, I should say, are able to insert their keys into the wall. So, I mean, it kind of all comes down to that and to this. But we do have to talk about Stage 1, because right now, I mean, I'm even looking at them right now. We do have a little bit of Call of Duty Black Ops 7 going on. We had Warzone a little bit last week, but now we're getting into more of this team-based game. So talk me through it, Trav.
Yeah, so it's kind of the reigning champions in Optic Gaming going up against the world champions in FaZe. That's the big competition here, and obviously we've kind of got gentle mates around as well who are making, I think it's fair to say, some big noise for the fans. They're really out here supporting their team, so that's one of the main things. It's the question of whether or not this Esports World Cup being in Paris, having that support behind them is going to go that far, or if the reigning champs are going to be able to take that one as well, because it seems like Optic and FaZe are some of the favorites going into.
We do have the bracket for Group A that we can take a peek at now, just to see all of the different teams as they're kind of spread out through the quarterfinals. Already some wins on the board and some unfortunate losses, but I can already just hear the fans going absolutely crazy. This is, yes, correct, the Group A bracket, as we can see. And who's that who's already made it into the finals there?
It's looking to me like G2 and Gentlemates, to be honest with you. So Gentlemates clearly having that support from the crowd, going a long way, managing to make it down to the finals of that group. And G2 as well. It's one you've already mentioned. Not only are they doing well in COD Black Ops 7, but they managed to take the win over in COD Warzone as well. So a couple of really strong weeks from them so far. Probably looking to try and continue that and get another 1,000 points on the board.
Man, how hyped do you think that G2 as an org would be to take home both Warzone and Black Ops 7?
I mean, if you can dominate across both, I think they'll be pretty hyped, especially the position they were in Warzone as well. I saw something, they came from like 17th to 1st in the matter of a few games. So being able to bounce back in those kind of situations is huge for them, and G2 surely going to be able to continue that on.
Yes, and we do have the Group B bracket that we can see here as well. Not as many results currently finished. These are the ones that are still going on at the moment, but a lot of familiar names and faces, most notably 100 Thieves on the board there. Come on, NA represent.
Absolutely, and this is the thing as well. They've managed to get points on the board already with their win in Valorant 2, so they're really trying to get that done. As I said, Optic up the top there, the reigning EWC champions from 2025, so they're looking to do a good job as well. But I think we've got to touch right at the bottom there. We saw Team Falcons as well. So I think when it comes to the Club Championship, that's one of the teams you've got to focus in on.
I'm glad you brought it up, because we can take a look at the Club Championship timeline right now just to show all of the different games that we have that have been spread across these 7 weeks. We're at week 5 right now. We're more than halfway there, but look at how many more games we have to go. What's popping out to you, Trav?
Yeah, well, for me, I'm kind of got all my eyes on chess next week, to be honest with you. That'll be a really interesting one with chess.com obviously joining the EWC over the past couple of years. I think you've kind of got to touch on the fact that Team Liquid as well, through the club championship, now we wanted to touch on that, they're still sitting on 0 points. And they've been a contender year on year on year, challenging for the title, and they've got 0 points. So I think Magnus has got his work cut out for him over in chess next week.
Yeah, Team Liquid is the team that I've been going, where are they, for the past few EWC spotlights. So I'm going to reel back on that a little bit and let them gain their footing. But take a look at these club championship rankings that we have right now. We did see Falcons pick up, that big win. There's 1,000 points on the board for them, cementing them in that first place spot at the moment. Na'Vi, who is currently in the lead, has now dropped to second. But look at all of the teams that we have in this top ranking so far. Again, Trev, you've been here since the beginning. Who's been the underdog?
I mean, this is the thing for me. I think Na'Vi is one that I've got to really touch on here, because I've been spending most of my time over at the Allianz Vault, and they've been dominating that stage. The first 2 weeks, Dark Angel took Fatal Fury for them, managed to get the win, so that's straight 1,000 points. And then they come back the week after and get second in MWI, the women's competition of NLBB. So it was a couple of great weeks, and I think that's one of the main storylines where you've really got to focus in on the fact that it's quality over quantity. And I say that, but Team Falcons just jumped above them, so maybe I have to eat my words.
Yes, and we have the second half of the rankings that we can see here, and look at that, as little as 200 points on the board. But as you said, there are still some clubs with that big old fat donut.
Yeah, do we have a third slide? We have a third slide for Team Liquid. I know you said we're going to have to start going easy on them and let them get their foot in, but for a club of that standard, we're expecting a bit more.
Exactly. It does feel a little lackluster, a little disappointing that someone who's been in that runner-up position 2 years in a row is just not here. And we're running out of games for them to participate in. But speaking of games, we could take a look at all of the games that are going to be played this week. Of course, we've talked about Call of Duty Black Ops 7. We got PUBG Mobile World Cup. We've talked about Honor of Kings. And of course, Tekken 8. So many different games. Now, Mark, I know that when you get finished casting Tekken, are there any of the other stages that you're tempted to run over to?
I mean, just what's around. I mean, I'm going to lean in on your suggestions. You guys have already given me food suggestions. But I think one thing to note for Tekken 8, especially I was looking at the leaderboard for the club championship, Vitality and Falcons obviously towards the top. They have 3 players in one group stage. In Tekken 8, they have 1 player from Vitality in there. I think a lot of it's going to come down to them, because those players are actually some of the best in the world. They have a really good chance. So I'm excited to see if that could mix up what the rankings are overall. But in between my time with Tekken, I'm probably going to check out some Honor of Kings Arena Valor.
Well, Trav, before I let you go and run back into all of these big arenas, anything that you want to add?
Yeah, I think for your point as well, for Team Falcons and Vitality, how influential these fighting games have been when it comes to the club championship, because the ability to really diversify your portfolio, bring in 4 players like Falcons have, gives them a great chance of getting far and getting some more points on the board. So that's my biggest takeaway. Get the fighting game players signed up on your side.
And Mark, final question for you. Are you gonna go eat some steak frites?
Just because you guys told me to, I will do it tonight.
Yes! All right, you heard it. He said so. We're gonna look for the posts on social media. But Mark, Trav, thank you so much for joining me on the EWC Spotlight. That was today's show, and we will see you all next time. Is your key gonna get crushed here?
Hi, Kalaris here at PMWC at the Esports World Cup 2026, and I've got the opportunity to talk to one of my favorite teams. We've got Aurora, and I've got Zyol here to talk to me about some of the moments from some of the recent tournaments. So my first question for Zyol is about Rondo, actually, and the Yulin situation. In PMGO, you were going up against Boom quite a lot in Yulin on Rondo. Is there going to be any changes on your Rondo strategy, or are you sticking with what you've currently got?
In our team, we will change nothing. We will fight and we will fix our mistakes, and we fight in Yuli.
Full fight. All right, perfect. And then on Erangel, now we saw that Severny will be a drop location that you're interested in. X-Force Rejects is kind of very close to there. And obviously now you've got loot trucks coming through Severny and things like that. Is X-Force a team that you've been potentially concerned about, or is there no concern for Aurora?
I think we will fight. We will fight everywhere. We don't care.
Full fighting all the way. All right, well, thank you very much, Zyol. And that's it for us here at PMWC.
It is Yangon Galacticos! Chasing the sunrise, boots hit the ground, hear the battle call. Loot up, lock in, we're ready for it all. Every street, every door, searching for a little more. One squad, one dream, nothing's ever what it seems. The circle's closing in, can you feel it on your skin? Heartbeat like the drum, the final fight has come. Fight till you make it, never gonna break it. Stand your ground and take it, right into the fire. Fight till you make it, every move can change it. Higher and higher, we're reaching for the winner, winner, chicken dinner. Fight till you make it, fight till you make it.
Hi, Kalaris here for PMWC at the EWC 26, and I've got the man, the myth, the legend. It's Falak from 4 Thrives. Very excited to talk to you here, Falak. And I want to ask you firstly about the PMGO win. You beat some of the best teams in the world. Talk to me about the feelings and the emotions that the team had after that victory.
After that win, I mean, we were trying from so long to win a trophy for our country, for our people. So after winning it, we really felt emotional that we won. Finally, we did it for our country. And yes, we are, after that win, we are feeling very confident for the PMWC as well. So let's see.
That's actually a good point, because I want to ask you about Group A here that you guys are playing in. You guys are obviously, for a lot of people out there, one of the big favorites in the group. But how do you look at the group? There's some obviously big names in there. Ulf almost did very well at PMMI, etc. So what do you think about the group as a whole?
I mean, we believe that if the teams which we know are in our group, like the information about the teams we have, it's good for us. It will be easy. The more we know teams, the more it will be easy.
Okay, and final question, I suppose, is actually Rondo specific. You guys are dropping over on the east on Rondo. There's a lot of teams that have kind of flagged that they may want to go there. Do you have any concerns about those teams? And what do you think of Rondo since its inclusion in esports?
I think Rondo is really a good addition in esports because you can always make a comeback because of Rondo. And about our draw spots, we really don't care where other teams are landing. We just try to our 3 players try to hot drop, and we send 1 player to recall, and we just try to pick kills and then play slow game. So we really don't care about the other teams.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much, Falak. And that is us done here at EWC.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
"32 teams from all corners of the world will step onto the Gadir City grid and battle for $3 million
Already.
James, calm down. Take a breath. What is this?
I'm here for the expo. Mate, I've been preparing for months. I am going to train with Max.
Expo?
Yeah.
What expo?
The Esports Cup World? The Esports Cup World Expo. Max is going to have done the teams. I've done the talent.
Okay.
Look, I've got Max.
Okay,
Man.
James,
I've got Seven. I've got...
James. We're at the Esports World Cup, mate.
What?
We're at the Esports World Cup.
But I spent months.
Esports World Cup, not Cup World.
Do you want a cup?
Yeah, go on then. I'll take one.
That one?
Cheers, mate. Yeah. It's all right, mate. We've got 2 weeks of this. Welcome to PMWC at the Esports World Cup.
And welcome to PMWC here at EWC 2026. We're in the lovely Paris. I'm Lace, joined by Hot Jukes. Hot Jukes, how are we liking Paris so far?
I'm loving it. I've been wanting to come to Paris my entire life, and I said, you know what better way to spend it than 2 weeks in an arena, and I'm loving it so far. I don't know where the Eiffel Tower is, but I'll tell you one thing. I know where the catering is. That's all that matters. But we got some serious gameplay to get into today. Of course, we have seen the best players on the planet. They are here competing for a serious prize pool. That's right, $3 million is on the line. $1,148,000 in the group stage alone, $152,000 in the survival stage, and then $1.7 million in the finals.
And why don't you take us through what maps our players will be playing today?
We got the big three right now. That's right, we're going into Rondo, Erangel, and Miramar.
And of course, these teams will be battling it out in group stages. So for today, we have Group A, and they will perform tomorrow. On day 3 and 4 of the group stages, we will have Group B. And then for 2 days, they will have the grueling survival stage, trying to make their way back into the competition. And then we have 3 entire days of finals. And that actually includes the Smash rule for PUBG Mobile.
Yeah, we're gonna see if that Smash rule comes into play. We've seen it recently in some past tournaments as well, so there is a whole bunch at stake. But that key crushing, right? We're gonna see some teams go out, some keys crushed tomorrow, so you guys definitely want to stay tuned.
And Hot Jukes, I need a little bit of a hot take from you going into the competition.
Man, I'll tell you one thing, Pakistan is coming in hot, right? They just won the biggest tournament of the year, PMGO Season 1. 4 Thrives are gonna be coming for everything. But we got some serious names here as well. Anybody could take it, but that's definitely one squad we gotta keep out for.
And it looks like Group A is the group of death. So of course, we won't keep you guys waiting any longer. Here is a tournament video explainer for you guys at home.
Get ready! The PUBG Mobile World Cup is back! From August 6th to 16th, 32 of the world's best teams will descend on Paris, fighting for global glory and a share of $3 million. Here's how the tournament works. First up, the group stage. The 32 teams are divided into 2 groups of 16, with each group playing 12 matches across 2 match days. Group A plays on days 1 and 2, while Group B competes on days 3 and 4. The top 5 teams from each group advance directly to the finals. Teams finishing 6th through 13th move into the survival stage, while the bottom 3 from each group are eliminated. Next comes the survival stage. 16 teams, 12 matches, but only 6 remaining places in the finals. Every elimination, every rotation, and every point could decide who survives and who goes home. The top 6 advance. The other 10 are eliminated. 16 teams will battle across 3 days and up to 18 matches. But on the final day, the Smash rule might change everything. At the end of day 2, the Smash point threshold will be set at 10 points more than the score of the team at the top of the leaderboard. Once a team reaches this threshold, they can win it all. But reaching the threshold is not enough. They must then secure a winner-winner chicken dinner in a later match to claim the PMWC title. And if nobody completes the Smash rule before the final match, the championship goes to the team with the highest overall score. Last year, no one won through the Smash rule. Will this year be different? 32 teams enter. Only one will leave Paris as the PUBG Mobile World Cup at 2026 Esports World Cup champion.
We're here at the PMWC at the EWC 26, and we've been trying to make a couple of predictions about who we think's going to win, and I've charged Blank with running some of the numbers. Blank, what are you thinking?
Oh, I mean, it's got to be Ulf, right? It's got to be Ulf. I mean, I've done a lot of calculations here, and Ulf's the only one for me.
Well, what are all these other calculations? What's going on here?
Don't flip those.
You've got it's Blank. This is just 4 thrives everywhere.
All the journeys seem to lead back to them. I mean, even looking at the EWC Play app right now, where you can get your predictions in, everyone is voting for 4 thrives. But if you want to get your predictions in, make sure to go to the EWC Play app and make those predictions right now.
As we head into week 5 of EWC 2026, it's time for another club championship update because we had some big things happen last week. We've got a lot to look forward to this one, so let's dive into it. First of all, let's talk about our leaderboard, okay? Because we have Team Falcons in first place. How did they get there? Well, they finally got that elusive win in week 4. Our youngest EWC champion ever in Crimey was able to set themselves up for success and put them at 2,400 points overall so that they were able to claim that top spot. However, they are followed by Navi and VP, 2 teams that are only 150 and 200 points away from Team Falcon's point total, which is absolutely a closable gap. It will be a little bit more difficult for Navi as they're only in 3 more titles over the next 3 weeks, but still massive storylines for us to follow. But what does that mean for us this week in PUBG Mobile? Let's continue looking on down the leaderboard because in 4th place, we have Vitality, and in 5th place, we have AGAL. 2 teams that are more than capable of getting top 8 finishes when it comes to PUBG Mobile. So that could potentially be a massive game for them and continue to push them up the leaderboard. The 3rd team that I want to touch on, though, is Aurora Gaming. They're all the way in 11th when it comes to our CC leaderboard. So if they're able to get a top 8 finish here, this could rocket them up not only into single digits on the CC leaderboard, but continue getting them some of that coveted club championship prize pool. Of course, we're going to have so much action happening over the rest of this week, so much competitions happening across the rest of our stages, so we'll keep you up to date with all of it.
Predictions. Everybody's just gonna be choosing their favorites, if we're being honest, as we welcome you to the PUBG Mobile World Cup at the 2026 Esports World Cup. My name is the 7WG, and I'm joined by none other than Neptura and Maxman. Neptura, how are we feeling? We're live in Paris too?
So hyped. The train was so easy over. The best ride ever. Coming in here, doing all of our stuff with some of the best teams in the world, Max. I'm feeling very hype indeed.
Oh yeah, I mean, I actually had to take the plane. I just moved to Poland, but I'm back in my home country. It's France. Let's go. I'm so excited. PUBG Mobile win France. This is the best combo ever.
My goal is to get you to eat a croissant live on the broadcast. Maybe not today, yes. Maybe at some point. And maybe you guys will be able to take screenshots of that and share it on social media with the hashtag EWC and hashtag EWC26. And you know what? I actually have a challenge for the viewers. Before we even get started, for everybody that likes to edit stuff, I want you to edit this. I'm going to tell Max and Nep to tell me the sound of a certain weapon. I want you to edit it. Use the hashtag EWC or hashtag EWC26. Share it, and we'll probably show it tomorrow. Max.
Okay.
What sound does the M4 make?
Ooh, that's good.
I can beatbox.
All right. All right. Neptura, what sound does the Car 98 make?
Oh.
Perfect. For everybody watching, please edit that in some kind of way, and we'll be happy to share it tomorrow. But as we get started here at PMWC at EWC 26, we do have some amazing groups. We have Group A and we have Group B. And today we'll get a chance to watch Group A. The first 2 days will be Group A, then we'll get a chance to watch Group B. Top 5 teams will be moving on directly. Bottom 3 will be end up getting sent home. I'm not going to be saying names, but I think there's some teams that are going to be down there. But for Group A, honestly, a lot of people in the tour, I think that this is the group of death.
It is. I mean, Max and I have had words about this because I personally feel like, yes, Group A is a lot more deathy, I suppose, you know.
Deathy.
Eliminatey.
Right? Eliminatey, right? But I think Group B also has some massive contenders that make it a little bit more even. But yeah, Group A coming on in for the first 2 days. Some pretty epic stuff here, Max.
The most simple way to say why that is the group of death, in my opinion, it literally has the top 3 of PMGO Season 1, right? You got your 4 Thrives, you got your Ulfs, you got your Furious that were just up there doing so well in that event. So because of that, I think that Group A is looking insanely strong and deserves the title of Group of Death.
I like it. I think I approve. More deathy. I like the sound of that one. But let's take a look at the teams that are going to be in Group B, as I mentioned. First 2 days is going to be Group A. The other 2 days is going to be Group B. But here in Group B, honestly, the thing is that we have so many heavy hitters as well. In this one, we have the reigning champions finally making a global appearance for PMWC, which is none other than Yangon Galacticos.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's been a bit of a tough road outside of PMWC right for them, but of course, the reigning champions, they need to show up massively for the entirety of Myanmar. They were received as like absolute heroes last year in their home country after coming back from Saudi Arabia, and we'll see if they can try and replicate that success. But as of right now, the rest of this group, I would say, I don't know if you would agree, Nipchira, pretty homogenous, very even, and hard to tell who might qualify in that top 5.
No, I would agree. I think there's a lot of different teams with different types of strategies that we're going to be looking at. And, you know, yes, you do have your big names. You've got your A7s. You've got your I was going to say your Hyunbins. It's not just Hyunbin. It's Nongshim Red Force as well. It's just Hyunbin. No, but you do have those other teams as well that I think will be the more popular names. But everybody has a chance here, and that's what's going to make Group B so exciting.
As we're talking about teams that have a chance, we got to do the Sony story of the day, which is none other than 4 Thrives. The possible favorites, if we're being honest here, because they did end up winning PMGO Season 1. And I'm excited to finally see them in this kind of format as well, Max and Neptura, because in this format, we're going to be seeing them a little bit longer. It's not of the likes of what we saw at PMGO Season 1.
It is. I am so excited for Thrives coming on in. I mean, they won PMGO. I was very happy with them here. They looked so good at PMWC last year. Now coming back in here with that win at their back, I'm very, very excited for what they've got to be coming in here. The one thing I do want to say, though, Seven, is, you know, we have 2 days of survival stage. Normally, the second day is not always as good for them as their first. So I really need them today to come in really, really strong, like we saw in PMGO.
And one thing that we know about 4 Thrives as well, Max, is usually the rondo sets the day for them. Are we expecting a good rondo here out of them?
I actually don't think so. I think they keep saying Rondo's their best map. I don't think it is. I genuinely think actually their Wrangle and also their Miramars are their 2 best battlegrounds, which, you know, you have 5 of those maps. It is still very important to have. So I think 4 Thrives, if they can get a Rondo that goes well on top of just good Wrangles and Miramar, they're going to look like a very clear favorite. And it's very interesting, the conversation we had last year, that was the best event, the best result we've ever had for a Pakistani team. And look what happened since then, right? Of course, PMGO Season 1, they won it. We need to see that storyline continue in this event.
Yeah, one of the biggest worries with this kind of long format for this squad too is the mentality. What are they going to be like? Everybody watching at home that's a 4 Thrives fan is usually questioning that. One team that has come strong here at PMWC and has been strong throughout the whole year is none other than Fúria out of Brazil. This squad has been on something.
That's a weird way to say Alpha 7. No, again, too soon. Yeah, of course, Alpha 7 not doing too good, and Fúria just taking on the mantle of the best team from Brazil so far in 2026, dominating back in PMGO Season 1 over in Jakarta. And even after that, right, PMMI barely missed out on becoming the champions of that event by a single point almost. They would have won it, but they were smashed at the end by Hyunbin and Nongshim Red Force. So very happy about Fúria. The lineup is great. And one thing that's really fun, actually, Nipchira, is that Ayala is incredible, but Silence is one of the few players playing with a DP28, and you love seeing players break the meta in such a way.
Oh, I love it. I mean, DP28 is one of my favorite weapons, has been for a while, and it's just so nice to see a team actually utilize it like we've been seeing from Silence there. The other thing I love about Fúria is how methodical they are, right? You know, you're looking at a team that is very, very careful, very methodical, very strategical. Everything has a game plan to it, and that's what I like to see out of the teams that I enjoy watching. That's some of my favorite gameplay to see. The other thing, though, Seven, very quickly, that might be a big advantage to them is their uphill pushes. For me, Fúria do very well on uphill pushes. That's a really difficult thing to be able to do well, and they seem to do it in style.
Uphill pushes.
Very specific.
I know this has nothing to do here with PMWC, but it automatically gave me flashbacks out of one thing that we were doing once. We were covering a show, and we just saw a team fully send it up a church in Miramar. They got absolutely destroyed. I'm hoping that's not going to be the case here with Fúria. They know better. One team that usually tends to know better but has been a bit of a miss, hit or miss, is Aurora, if we're being completely honest. Because, Max, with this team, we don't know which team we're going to be getting. We don't know if we're going to be getting the team that has 3 global MVPs or a team that looks like they don't even belong in this lobby.
Look, okay, I'm going to make it very easy in the description, okay? My mic is Aurora, okay? And this is Ego. I want it to go like this. separate the two, okay? Because they currently go for hot drops to really just hinder a lot of their situations going into these big global tournaments, even regional tournaments at time. But one big thing is we have seen Reefers step up massively. He's the savior of this team. I want to see Reefers come out banging here in PMWC.
I want to see him banging as well. One team that I want to see them banging, everybody, is going to be none other than Enigma Galaxy, because this squad has been able to perform really well in the past, especially with the likes of Raouf. And the good thing about here at PMWC is that they're also going to have one of their main fraggers. Coops is here, and I know Kalaris got a chance to catch up with them.
Hi, Kalaris here at PMWC for EWC 26, and I am with the man, the myth, the legend, Raouf from Enigma Galaxy here, who's now back on Enigma Galaxy. He's been there a few times here and there, but I want to get a few questions with him before day number 1 of the tournament does kick off. So, first and foremost, your group, it's a pretty tough group. What do you think about the group, and kind of do you have any potential concerns about any particular teams?
Our group is definitely tough. I would say it's more strong than the other group. The only concern I have about the group is some of the teams are really aggressive in the group. Like, they see one chance, small chance of a third party, they're gonna go for it. So we need to be more careful with our fights, how we defend and everything, and things should be good.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I'm a little bit scared of Group A. Group B is strong too, but hey.
Yeah, it is, of course. I mean, it's the best of the world in both groups, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. So let's actually talk about your drop spots a little bit, because you guys have got some pretty good drop spots. I think you're in Pachinki and Erangel. You got Pozo and Miramar, which is awesome. And then Rondo's a little bit crazy. So do you think, like, you've been able to claim them because people respect your team a lot? How were you able to get such good drop spots? Because nobody's really contending you on Erangel and Miramar.
I mean, for Pachinki and, El Pozo, I've been dropping there for like 8 years. Yeah. Teams doesn't know I don't change. Like, doesn't matter if we lose the fight, win the fight, I'm not gonna change. So I think that's why teams don't contest us mostly. So yeah, it's a good drop spot. I chose them from the start. We have good rotations, everything. So not changing.
I like it. A man of conviction here. And I want to talk about Rondo a little bit. Obviously, I kind of brought up the drop spots a little, but Rondo is very different when it comes to how it kind of plays out compared to Erangel and Miramar. So how has Rondo been for you guys so far? What do you think of the map since its inclusion in esports, and what do you think of the drops?
I mean, for Rondo, yeah, it's definitely an interesting map. I mean, when they added this at the start, we were struggling a bit at it, like at the start, but right now we improved a lot. We learned a lot of new tactics. And with the recall thingy, you know, teams can just respawn basically. Like, it unlocked like a lot of new possibilities, a lot of new threats, and we're trying to take advantage of that.
All right, well, thank you very much, Raouf, for joining me. Any final words before we let you go?
All good. Wish us luck, and hopefully we make our fans proud.
I hope so too. Thank you very much, Raouf, for joining me here. All right, that's us done for here for day number 1 to start things off.
You won't only need the luck, Raouf. You'll also need the skill that we know that you have as well. But then we're talking actually about some of the drops, Max.
Yeah, I mean, Rondo was a bit hectic, but especially it was interesting when we was talking about Pachinki. Like, no one's contesting it. And I feel like when you think about it, Enigma Galaxy has been dropping in Pachinki since the 1900s, like early 1900s, right? They've been there for the longest time.
Dang.
So it makes sense, like, seniority in Pachinki. Also, there's even more valuable, right, Niptro? Because you have a loot truck now, so they get it every single wrangle. Maybe P90s, MG3s, fully stacked gear, ammo, and meds. It's a great drop location for Enigma Galaxy.
It is a very good drop location for Enigma Galaxy, and I think what you're saying as well is that, you know, they've been there since the dawn of time, basically.
Yes.
No
Well, hey, the summer sun is just a little bit too hot for to keep them out there too long. We had to cut back into the studio. It's lovely and air conditioned, so we're keeping it cool.
Yeah, we're kind of lucky in that regard.
Yeah, absolutely. I do not envy them. Seven does look pretty stylish though in those sunglasses. I was admiring those.
Yeah, he did. You were Myron. You were Myron the big way. Again, we're having it easy. We've got chairs. We've got aircon. It's the best. But overall, we are really excited to get these games underway. We've got Rondo coming at you first. Maxman sort of feels like potentially it's not 4-5's best map. I don't know, I feel like they have some good moments on there. I remember a moment where they basically single-handedly held off every other team and played everyone to their own tune. So that was very, very cool for me. But again, there is some really, really important things to go about. PMI, as Max stated, he's taken all my points, basically. This is a really frustrating point for me. Furia, they were pipped to the post by a smash ruling. Last game, it's a bit odd, right? Because you get to the last game, you think, well, Fury has definitely won this, but Hongqin Red Force, with that smash ruling came into play. It was 145 to 146, which looks odd on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Furia still has it in them. It's nice to see that through PMGO to PMMI, they still had a lot of gusto available. I feel like they're sort of my dark horse here, even though a lot of people do have their eyes on this team. A lot more people talk about Ulf, 4 Thrives, Aurora, but yeah, I think Furia really has a good shot here.
Absolutely. I mean, they really do have a lot to play for. So do all of our other teams. And to get things underway, we're going to be heading down to the stage for our opening ceremony.
Galacticos will take PMWC 2025 in sensational fashion. PMWC champions, Alpha 7 Esports!
4 Thrives take the top spot. The champions of this tournament.
"32 teams from all over the world prepare for battle on the Gadia City grid over the next 4 days. Players from all corners of the world looking to make their mark and laser focused on the title of PMWC champion."
That's not the only thing they're fighting for. The prestige, the glory, and $3 million. But alongside all those incredible rewards comes incredible pressure.
That's right, incredible pressure. We've got 2 weeks of competition right here on the main stage, which begs the question, how many of our teams can stay consistently in peak form? So I think it's about time we find out, Lucy.
En effet, Barney, c'est l'heure. Ici, à Paris, à Porte de Versailles, it is time to welcome our teams from Group A, starting with Furia!
GK Esports.
Team Flash.
Go Goat Team. AGL. Thunder Talk Gaming. X-Force Rejects. Kiwoo DRX. Nigma Galaxy. Four Thrives Esports. Orangutan. Gaming Stars. Aurora Gaming. Al Ula Club Esports. Team RQ. And finally, Oof Esports. This is the beginning of a lengthy journey to find the most talented team in the world.
Our players are at the base of the mountain, faced with an almost impossible climb. So welcome to the Pmwc at EWC 2026.
Last year, nobody expected them. They were overlooked.
We've seen unbelievable plays, we've seen heartbreaks, and we've seen comebacks.
Then they shocked the world.
APG already out, and Yangon Galacticos will take PMWC 2025 in sensational fashion.
Yangon Galacticos!
But lightning never strikes twice, does it? This year, the favorites are ready. They have the experience, the firepower, the expectations. But every champion starts as a team nobody believed in. Alpha 7 finally became champions in 2024. Yangon Galacticos conquered 2025. Who will win 2026? Teams, one final circle, one winner.
Well, we are ready to get things underway here for the PMWC at the EWC 26. It's time to crush dreams and crown kings here. Make that obelisk all the brighter with one of our teams taking that plinth.
A lot of keys to be crushed as well. As we head into this, all the teams are currently, we have some huddling going on, which is fair enough. This is a big tournament. There's a lot on the line here, so it does make sense. Got to chat to Ralph earlier as well. Has some confidence actually this time around, which is nice to see. Also has Coops on board, which is sick. We get Coops at a tournament for once, despite being on the roster for so long. So that's good to see. I genuinely think that right now, Nigma Galaxy is probably the strongest it has been in quite some time. It's also nice to hear Ralph say, you know, if we just do it enough times, go to Pachinki enough, eventually teams are going to realize that we should just stop bothering. And yeah, you might lose some points over it over the years, but hey, you've got it to yourself now.
Well, that's the difficulty, though, because new teams keep coming on through. They haven't maybe learned that lesson yet. So maybe they'll still be getting a little bit of argy-bargy elbows out action in Pachinki. We'll have to wait and see, though, because our first map up is Rondo, and it is definitely argy-bargy elbows out to start that map off.
It has to be. It has to be. Good to see anyone's legend there for just a second. Team actually that's been doing phenomenally well in their current region and hopes to bring that kind of firepower through to now PMWC. It's also super cool. We had PMI recently, where a lot of the Chinese players got to get on side, you know, play on this version of the game. And I don't want to say it was scrim practice, but it was some really, really good warm-up for them going into PMWC. So instead of, you know, having those survival stages in the past where China has had to figure things out over 2 days and then slowly claw their way back into the tournament, this time around they should be feeling a little bit more spicy, I would say, coming into day one.
Okay, all right, we're going to be keeping an eye out for it. I mean, Tianba has, you know, historically done fairly well and more recently not had that same track record, which is kind of what you're highlighting there. Furia super chill right now.
I don't know. This man's gripping the chair. So I don't know if that's super chill, but
it's just he's just locked into his zone, you know. Let's take a look at some of our teams getting ready, gearing up. Geek8 putting the hands in the middle, arms around the shoulders. This is a team prepared to take everyone on.
Yeah, I mean, Safji there as well on side. I don't think PK's a terrible team at all. I do think that they may struggle against some of the powerhouses coming into this.
Okay.
But we'll have to wait and see. They seem confident though, and I like that.
They're ready for it.
Easy for Bad Boy is kind of an insane player though.
To get there.
I will say that.
Pretty nutty. As we get Kiwoom DRX as well, psyching themselves up because we're loading up into our first map. 4 Thrives, the chants ringing through the halls here. As they sit down, they take their place amongst the rest. All 16 teams from Group A ready to get stuck straight on it.
It's a chance of a lifetime here for 4 Thrives. It absolutely is. I think they're coming off a massive high. One of the most insane days we've seen in PUBG Mobile for a long, long time. So, potential here for something fantastic to happen for the Pakistan squad. I hope so. I mean, for them, it can't all end there at PMGO. We're looking for at least a top 5 here at PMWC. I think they've got the gusto in them to make it happen. Furia, though, like I said before, I think this is a real dark horse for the team. I think that they could take it all if they are playing to their max potential. Everyone knows that I'm a huge fan of Ulf. Okay, everyone knows that.
We do know.
I'm not going to make too much of a mess of that. But yeah, Aaron's one of my favorite players of all time, and I think that he really showed up in PMGO. Now, the rest of the team does need to step up a little bit more around him to fully lock that down. But Ketch is playing really well. Aaron's playing really well. I want to see a bit more out of Scarface. This guy used to carry teams on his back in the back of the day. You know, long-range specialist, and he was lovely at it. But I think that's the thing for Ulf, is that all the gears need to be moving in tandem as things go forward, because otherwise they're not going to be able to grab that scoreline out of the top. And we do have a treat coming into Group B as well. We get to see Alpha 7. We get to see whether, you know, the curtain has closed for that team. So I really hope it hasn't. I hope the show does go on for that squad.
Yeah.
Prolific team throughout PUBG Mobile history.
Absolutely. The only team to have won all 3 major global titles, right? This is a team that has such a long history, such a prestige within the scene.
Are they done?
But they got eliminated in the first stage of PMGO. It was a massive surprise to everyone, finishing bottom 2 of their group, which was just like out of, nobody would have predicted that. People were predicting Alpha 7 to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
And to get eliminated in such fashion was pretty devastating for them. I think, you know, they probably already shelled out for the hotel rooms for the rest of the tournament, right? So nothing, if not that, that's a loss on itself. So hopefully they can stay here a little bit longer in Paris.
Well, the boys look confident this time around, at least. I mean, Revo, we know, is one of the best players in the world. And I would go on a limb and say he is the best shotgun player in the world of all time so far. I mean, Robs takes a close second on that, but yeah, I think for Alpha 7 to finish their run here, I don't think it's the case. I think they've got more left in the tank. It has just been a rough couple of tournaments so far, but we are getting into our first game real shortly here right now on Rondo.
It is time to get on into the playing path. We are loading our players on up. and it is fit to get messy. Remember, Rondo has those recall towers blank, so everybody dropping in, they're going to be going to Neox Factory, they're going to be going to Tinlong Gardens, and they're going to be having it out, sending their solos out to those recall towers to give them that anchor into the rest of the match if things don't go their way.
First playing path of the tournament, here it comes, here we go. Getting stuck into the thick of it right now here at PMWC at EWC, match number 1 of Group A. Let's get it kicked off.
Time to go on in. It looks like we're coming at it from the northeast side of the map. Cutting down through the middle, our players. We've got cameras focused on all of them. They are under the hot lights of the studio, down on the stage, ready to get things done as we wait for our gameplay to come on through.
We're just coursing through right now, keeping it calm, chilled out. Players do jump on out. Now we're heading over towards test track to start things off. We know the Neox Factory is going to be an absolute slobber knocker over in that direction, but how many teams are going to end up over there? That is the real question as we head on through. There was actually a lot of engagement down towards Danching during the test matches. We'll see if that's the case here, but it does seem to me that Neox Factory is the place of choice for plenty of these teams. Thundertalk, though, however, taking a very, very chilled out approach over towards the north side in Bamboo. They've got a 4-man split over here. Ulf also towards Stadium. But it's 4 Thrives, actually. You got IQ getting very, very close over towards Geeke, and that is their player to go for the recalls. So he wants to get past there without harm, without pressure. But Hazaifa already opening up over towards Coops, of all people. Come on.
And they might not even need IQ out there to go for the recalls if they can take this fight. Looks like they have lost one player already, though. Nigma Galaxy trying to turn things around as well. But as you say, they've lost Coops right off the bat. And Ralph's the next to fall. Goes down to Hoxie. Kiwoom DRX. Everybody gets stuck in. This is what you see on Rondo. It is madness in the Neox Factory.
Nice.
A big nade threaded on up, and it's finding 1 and 2. Falak charges on forwards, and they're cutting the rosters in half. The volley back through the door, though, puts him back in his place, and Hazaifa has to hold it down. Satan around the corner. Hazaifa needs to hold, and he's good for 1. Ralph can't quite connect either, and now he has a 1 versus 1. Ralph is low, and he finds it. Hazaifa keeping him safe. Falak back on up.
The spray comes through, and 4 Thrives looking good, looking neat on this side of the map. I like the play from Falak as well. Insane grenade, banked off the doorstep, but knew he had to jump up there quickly because KRX was stealing away all the eliminations. 4 Thrives start off the game at a 4 elim count. It looks really mighty strong. Furia were able to get 1 in the process. Most teams getting back up again, but the biggest disappointment so far is Enigma Galaxy. They lost all 4 players in the first minute of the game.
You can't be doing that. That is not good news. And on such an important map, they get no points. They didn't even get that refrag, losing repeated challenges. And I don't know if they lost a player on an outpost, if they'd sent someone away, if they're committed. We're on board, though, with Flower trying to get the spray down. Furious giving it a good go. And Maple is there, looking to take down the crossing, does so effectively. And now Kiwoom DRX have to find something else.
Maple looking sweet like syrup in that engage there now, looking over towards KRX. Benny down low on his belly, moving out with the JS9, see if we can get done with that. Reverb comes through with the M249 over towards the Tanky. AKOP though is clapping back over towards Reverb. To see Benny spraying through the smoke at the moment. It's a pretty awkward bit of terrain to work around here inside the building.
Hoxie and Benny trying to hold down the angle. The smoke's keeping them in cover for now. Just constant harassment from Maple. Pushing them back and forth this way, that way. But he's allowed his players to step in towards him. Maple goes low, but doesn't quite connect. Nobody's hitting the shots, and finally Hoxie falls. Maple wants to flush, and will be able to find it. Scarpering around the corner now to get away from the rest of the fight. He doesn't want any more to chew down on. He's already done bits.
Through the smoke there, everyone was suffering. Benny's currently on fire as well. This is a nightmarish area to be in with the sidelines available. It's all a bit awkward. Maple will find another. I think he was able to secure that as well, which is nice to see. Hazaifa does go down, but so far 4 Thrives have been living.
over on the southwest side of Neox. AKOP pulled back almost immediately by Orangutan there. Oh, predict. Heard the M79 going off and just thought he would spray on through. He has been a monster inside the Neox factory so far, and he has been producing those eliminations coming straight off the end of the conveyor belt.
It is now neck and neck on eliminations from the hot drops, and it looks like the two titans of Neox Factory want to get stuck in against each other. Falak charging forwards there. Maple looking for the heals. He's allowed to get the first aid kit off, but still has a health disadvantage. The S12K in close range could prove to be pivotal, though, as Falak opens up for the charge around the corner, goes wide, and what a swing from Falak! Up and into the air, hopping about, the bunny rabbit bites.
I mean, the S12K versus the JS9, I mean, it's sort of even, but you would probably eke that out with the S12K there. Oh, man, I mean, that's Falak all over, though. The guy is criminal when it comes to those 1v1s. Looks good, though, and finally our observers are like, yeah, let's take a look at the other portion of the map so far, because it has been hectic over towards Neox. Fury's still playing on that south side of it, though. You go Flash on screen. I think a team that struggled in the past this year, I mean, they are looking to get a little bit better into this one, but they were a rookie team at the start, and they have been plowing through into some of the most prestigious tournaments of the year. So we've got to give this team time, I would say. Well, we're off at the moment, Scarface. I can spot a marble on the top of a mountaintop. Looking to do exactly that here. Figure out where these teams are playing. He has a team just down towards the south, but right now in the Flash.
It's interesting that Ulf have left Calci out over towards Stadium, right, for that recall tower this late when they have got already such a prior position. Furia looking to go for a challenge against Thundertalk. Already hitting him so low. How do you hit those? Ayala, beautiful. Now looking to go big with an aid. Does a lot of damage. And the Molotov to follow it up. Pinches him into the corner. And they know what they're playing against. It's just easy for Furia.
That's cool gameplay there from Ayala. The perfectly placed molly. Has to drop down. Doesn't have time to go for the first aid. And notices that the pin had not been pulled for a long time there at all. So he just sends her out the side. So he thinks to himself, you know, I can just step up, go for the shot through the window. It's good awareness. I mean, Ayala played in quite a few different teams. Glad he's found a place here on Sour Furia. Main look good as well. So far, 5 elims for them. Only one behind the top squad currently in 4 Thrives.
4 Thrives with that elim over towards everybody else pretty much in Neox Factory do still have this top spot, but it's a question of now getting into the circle for them. The 4 Thrives, they may not have the easiest time of it out on the western side. Goat's team challenging, getting the spray over towards Gaming Stars. Rolex does go down. Not fully flushed just yet, but you imagine it is only a matter of time here. And Rolex, yeah, that's going to be confirmed. Recalls are going to start to get harder now, Blank. Teams are starting to take position on priority recall beacons, and it will be more difficult to find your way towards them. So eliminations are going to start to stick.
There they are. For Goat there, 477 actually Unreal player, by the way. If there's anyone you want to watch on that team, it is 477. He has had some amazing moments in the past and had a bunch of elims on site. Now we get a nasty circle shift over towards the east here. Cuts through with the river, the water in play. Orangutan actually made a decent rotation before this, try and get central and get some high ground off the back of that one, despite actually having some fights early on, which is quite cool to see. But now they've got a tough approach here. Realistically, they want a western shift on this next circle. If this keeps going over towards the eastern side, towards Hua Sing, as well as Muhopan, you're gonna have a bad time off the back of that. Right now, All Game is the only team that really has a solid spot over there, but you do have Thundertalk coming in from that northern edge towards Muhopan. We'll wait and see. This is definitely very much one of those situations where you're looking for stage 3, how you want to play this one out. For KRX, we're gonna try and take both sides. It's greedy, I like it though.
I mean, it's worth a go. Bini now with that outpost on the western side, the only player to have crossed from that central position. You don't want to be on the back foot when it comes to getting across here, and I feel like they're going to be looking to send more players on through. Bini creating, with the destructible terrain and the explosive bow, creating a nice little divot for himself. He can start to play around that, cover off the sight lines, but actually popping the vehicle in there as well. That's going to protect the tires.
You know what? I actually really do like that. I think here on Rondo, the explosive bow and arrow could be unreal, just for terrain destruction in general. Creating little divots to play on demand with. It's quick and easy compared to the nade. Ayala still continuing on the warpath here for that team. They're fairly central to Igor's moving up now from test track. I think he might have just dipped out to go for a loot crate. I'm not sure.
I have to see if he's going to catch that one on the loop. Aurora taking position again, looking to stay fairly central. They're more on the south side of things, but they have got this beautiful high ground on the top of this mountain to overlook over to everybody around them. Will be pretty tricky. I'm also keeping an eye on 4 Thrives, who have yet to really make an entrance. So far, most of what's happened has come off of their test track and Neox Factory hot drop in terms of their point scoring, but now they have to push in from the west side, and we're getting back into bread and butter PUBG Mobile for them, and so will be interesting to see what they're able to achieve there on the west side.
On board with Aurora still, though, this team's had some difficulties over the year in terms of tournaments. I mean, PMMI, they had a really dominant group stage, though, and I think that was one of the promising things to watch, because it really was a dominant group stage. Obviously, we didn't have that quite same success over towards that finals, but I think for Aurora, certainly trying to keep things under wraps at the moment. Just feels like finals tends to be a little bit scary for this squad so far, despite having like such confident players on side. I mean, you watch the walkout there from Aurora and you're like, honestly, these guys feel like the veterans of this tournament. Obviously, we get to see Alpha 7 coming out, but I would honestly say for Aurora, yeah, they are the veterans of Group A at least. They're the guys that know the most. They're probably the guys that with the least nerves coming out onto the stage.
I think so. I think they do. They have got that story. I mean, Top Doc, Ziol, Reefus, like just such storied names coming on through from the region. But you're right, they had that little bit of a downturn, and there has been criticism levied, I think probably most specifically at Doc, in terms of the way that he sometimes splits out, plays too separate, doesn't play with the rest of the roster. It felt like maybe he'd found some fixes to that over the course of the last year and a half or so, and hopefully they can be learnt from and move forwards. Because Aurora did just do a little bit of a wraparound and have gotten far more central onto this next circle.
Yeah, I think it's hard, right? Because at some point you have to look at the rest of the squad as well. Kelsey on a mad dash out there. I am surprised he is still kicking at this point. Heart must be racing. Finally, he is taken down there by Ziol. The rest of the team not able to help, but you do need to start looking at some of the other players on Aurora. I don't think we can put all the blame over on Doc, because a lot of times that blame comes his way, because when he goes down, the team suffers because of it, because he is so good at the game. Win will find Top on a nasty little headshot, actually, just peeking over the top of that ridge side.
A really nice cut across comes through from Aurora there. I mean, we caught the end of that rotation as Furia were taking that volley of fire. But Aurora, from the south side, went around Furia and into the south point of Ulf. It forced Ulf to regroup in an unfavorable scenario, which has led to them losing a player. And it's put them under a lot of pressure. They are in nade range now from Aurora, who can start to levy this central position.
I mean, the more nades thrown at Aurora, and the ones that don't hit are just providing more divots for them to play in towards. So this is actually not the worst thing in the world. Emergency cover flare also brought out off the back of this one. Circle did shift back over towards the western side, which Orangutan's quite happy with, playing over towards the northwest. Gaming Stars do lose Rolex. A couple of players brought back into the game, though, so we're still at a solid 55 count on players.
Yeah, we do have a couple more minutes of these recall towers being active, but they are starting to get difficult to find. I mean, RRQ currently sat on top of pretty much, I think, the only one in the zone. The Muho Pan recall tower is technically accessible, and maybe you could get out there, but it's all the way over there. It's much more likely you're going west out to the Bamboo recall tower, but I don't think that the last player for Gaming Stars is going to be able to get anywhere near them, because there's a solo trapped in the middle. Does manage to extract a point against Flash, though, on the north side. Deploys the emergency cover. That was a real sound effect coming on through. I liked it.
It's a sad image there of Satan, honestly. I mean, fair enough. I mean, Enigma Galaxy must be devastated off the back of this match. Head down. You know, you just got to pick yourself back up onto that next match. But it's 12 matches, John. It's not a lot of time you have to work with here. You really, really do need to get a move on. So I think for Enigma Galaxy, they realized they just lost out on one of the highest earning maps over these 2 days, and there's only 2 of them. So they're really going to put in the work over the next 11. I said they looked confident coming into this one. Maybe less confidence. All right, maybe we do need a guy on the outpost.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's not what you want to see. We did also see X-Force rejects coming in from the west